Okay, so I hope you have already opened the file. Natin, ano, ang title actually nito is Portfolio Optimization. We did this using Excel, di ba? Kinompute natin yung we generated the efficient frontier, the allocation line or capital market line using Excel. Ito naman, we're going to do this using R. Okay, I gave here a very good reference. Okay, if we open this, open natin tong site na to. Okay, magandang ano to, magandang reference. Luisa, you can use this later on. This can be your thesis, not anything about portfolio optimization. And yung i-discuss natin ito, na topic na to, malaking tulong to sa portfolio optimization. In fact, advisor ako ng isang group na ang topic nila is portfolio optimization ngayon. Tapos nakatulong talaga ng malaki si R sa pag-compute. Okay, so ito, this is a reference. Many of what we're doing now is also patterned after this. So malaking tulong yung reference na to, no, kasi nag-step by step siya para ibigay yung discussion on portfolio analysis. Okay, so let's continue our discussion.
Sir, are you sharing your screen po?
Ay, sorry. I'm sorry. Hindi pala naka-show. Okay, share screen. Okay, kita mo na? Can you see it now? Okay. So I showed this, no? Yung link dun sa URL na which I included dun sa R Markdown file. Ito yun. So you can use this as a reference. Okay? You can use this to review yung mga pinag-aralan natin. This is all about portfolio analysis, no? Okay. So with the discussion now, with this recording plus this one, malaking matutulong to sa appreciation ng portfolio analysis using R. Okay. So let me. Okay, as an example, so dito hindi ko na binank yung mga ibang codes para tuloy-tuloy yung discussion natin, no? Okay, so these are the packages that we're going to use. Si Portfolio Analytics, si QuantMode Performance Analytics, F-Portfolio, Zoo, and Plotly. If you haven't installed these packages, i-install mo na. Okay? Pati itong ROI, kailangan to, kasama to dun sa Portfolio Analytics para makapag-solve tayo ng portfolio optimization. Have you downloaded this before? Have you installed this?
Yung plug-in QuadPro po, hindi pa po.
Sige, i-pause ko muna tong recording natin and then I'll give you a few minutes. Okay. So I think I have installed this packages already. Okay, to check kung na-install na yung ROI, pwede natin i-run to, Luisa. ROI _ registered solvers. Yung mga these packages that we uploaded are solvers for portfolio analytics that helps in computing for optimal weights. So if we run this, yan. Ito yung these are the packages that we installed: Symphony, GLPK, QuadProg. Okay, so let's just use 5 stacks, no? 4 stacks: Facebook, Google, Intel, Microsoft, and we can use the QuantMode package in downloading data. Alam natin yung get symbols, no? Get symbols. Tapos ano yung i-download natin? FB, Google, Intel, Microsoft. Source is Yahoo. And then from 1601, so hanggang ano na lang, no? Gawin natin 2 is equal to 2020, 1231. Gawin na lang natin hanggang ano. Kasi ano mangyayari, Luisa, pag hindi tayo naglagay ng 2? What will happen? Ida-download niya yung hanggang
Kunin po niya yung...
most current, no?
Yes, sir.
Oo, hanggang most current. Or let's just tag it up to end of 2020. Okay, sige. So let's run this first. Okay, so you can see here now that andito na yung si FB, Google, Intel, Microsoft. And it's an XTS object. XTS is extensible time series. Di lang ah. Okay. Okay, so XTS, no? XTS. Maganda, Luisa, kung i-research mo rin ano ba yung XTS object. XTS means extensible time series. So, these are, as you know, time series siya. No? And may mga packages kasi na hindi gagana kapag hindi time series or hindi time series yung ano yung data natin. Okay. And XTS is one of the most powerful package available in the market for use in time series analysis. Okay, so if you take a look, for example, lagyan natin dito class. Class ni FB. Yan. XTS siya, which is Zoo yung dating time series class, tapos parang in-expand siya. Kaya naging XTS na yun. Okay, so let's get itong code na to. We're calling it adjusted price, and it will merge. Ito yung function, lagyan natin dito importante na kapag nag-AR, if there's a function na hindi natin masyadong alam, pwede natin gamitin yung help function ni R mismo. So ito, merge.zoo. This is coming from the zoo package. So it's used to merge 2 or more zoo objects. Kasi di ba meron tayo ditong 4 na zoo objects, no? Si FB, which tingnan natin muna, no? If I open this, okay, alam natin nasa quant mode, no? Ang binibigay sa atin yung open, high, OHLC, if you recall, OHLC, open, high, low, close, volume, and then the adjusted price. And then you notice there's a column here na date, no? Ito yung index. It's not part of the, it's not part of the data itself. So this is one quality or one characteristic of the XTS or the zoo of a zoo or XTS object. No? Yung index niya, yung date, hanggang dulo yan, 2020, 12, 30. Okay? Alright. So, ito yung ano natin. This is a zoo object. Di ba? Tapos sabi natin, pwede natin i-merge yung different zoo objects. Merge two zoo objects by common indexes, yung times. So, pwede natin siya ma-merge kasi pareho naman yung index natin. Take note, nung pina-search natin pina-download natin to using the get symbols, pareho yung time na yan. Pareho. Kasi pareho naman silang traded eh. Trading on the same dates. So pareho din yung binigay sa atin na output by the quant mode package. So we can use this merge.zoo in order to merge zoo objects. So if we take a look at our code, merge.zoo, si FB, tapos ang ginagamit ng brackets, di ba, for sa subset natin, ito, bracket, tapos yung empty yung first part dito, ibig sabihin, walang restriction sa rows. Lahat ng rows kasama, and then sa columns, yung 6th column lang. Ang 6th column natin ito, FB.adjusted na to. So ang isasama lang niya, i-merge niya ito, okay, yung 6th column for FB, Google, Intel, and Microsoft. Okay, any questions yan? Luisa?
None, sir.
None. Okay, good. Now, dito may mga okay, good. May mga examples dito, yung help functionalities ni R. Okay, you can use this and then pwede mo aralin siya for you to better understand yung function na tinitingnan mo. Okay, so adjusted price, we're creating an object called adjusted price. Wala natin to. Yan, may adjusted price na tayo. Inspect muna natin sa adjusted price. Let's inspect it. Okay. View na lang natin. View. Adjusted price. Okay, so ito na siya, no? So FB adjusted, Google adjusted, Intel adjusted. Nag-default si Zuna, ang ilagay niya, isama niya yung FB at saka yung ito, yung adjusted dito. No? Okay. Kasi ang ano niya, ang pangalan ng yung mga data frames natin, yung mga XCS objects natin, yung dulo niya, Google.adjusted, FB.adjusted. So nung pinagsama-sama siya, ito siya. No? FB adjusted, Google adjusted. Kasi yung 6th column lang yung pinasok niya. Okay, clear so far? Isa?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So yung head, pareho lang yan. No? It will just give us the first six columns, rows ng ano natin, ng data natin, adjusted price. Okay. Then palitan natin. This is another way to do it. May kulang lang to. 2 is equal to 2020-12- yung ginamit natin. 30 ba? 31. Para pareho. Okay. So para ma-compare natin, gamitin natin adjusted price 1, adjusted price 1, adjusted price 1. Okay. So dito, dinefine natin isang object ng pangalan tickers, which is just a list of names, FB, Google, Microsoft. I-run natin to. Okay, so ito, no? Character variable. So sa ilalim, FB, Google, Intel, Microsoft. Ticker symbol sila. Tapos ito, a little code, adjusted price 1, magsisimula muna sa null. Okay. And then for ticker in tickers, for the variable ticker na nandito sa tickers. Okay, so here, we're now writing a function. Prices is just column bind adjusted price 1, comma, saan manggagaling yan? Dito sa get symbols natin, .yahoo. And then, ano yung get symbols natin? Si ticker. Pero si ticker, take note, si ticker, ito siya. Ticker siya. FB, Google, Intel, Microsoft. And then, yung function ng get symbols, define natin from, to, periodicity, daily ba yan, monthly ba yan? Kasi pwede tayong mag-access, mag-download ng data na monthly. Okay? So if we, again, kung periodicity, pwede natin, pag may mga periodicity, it pays to help always. Maging magandang habit na ano na. Ayan, so this is from XTS object. So parang saan ba yung periodicity? Okay. Wrapper function siya to quickly estimate the periodicity of a given data. Okay, it returns an object of type periodicity. Okay, so tingnan natin to, no? Possible scale values, pwedeng minute. Okay, kung may data tayo na per second, per minute, pwede natin kunin yung per minute. Hourly, daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, hanggang yearly. So ito yung pwede natin gamitin dito sa periodicity. So dito, sinabi natin na daily, ang bibigay sa atin dito, daily data. Actually, andi dito dyan sa taas kanina. No? Ayan. Asa na si get symbols natin. Dito hindi natin linagay. No? Pero ang binigay sa atin daily, ibig sabihin, yun ang default ni R. So dapat pwede natin ilagay dito daily, periodicity, just to complete this. No? Pwedeng ano yan, pwedeng minute, hourly, daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and yearly. Okay, so let's continue here. Okay, so get symbols, at ang kukunin lang, ito naka-subset siya. No? Naka-subset siya na yung 6 lang. 6 column lang yung kukunin. Okay, so let's run this. Okay, so we have adjusted, oops, bakit nag-null? Check natin, ha? Prices, C-bind adjusted, ticker. Error natin dito. Adjusted price 1. C-bind adjusted price 1. Pero kung ano na to. Nagnanalo siya. Check mo natin, ha? Ngayon po itong get symbols na .yahoo. Let's see if this runs. Bakit hindi siya nag-run? Null pa rin. FB, Google, Intel, Microsoft. Get symbols, ticker. May nakikita kang mali dito, Lisa? Daily. Okay. So, hindi ko ma-figure out kung bakit hindi siya nag-run. This should be running. Prices. Prices object. Okay. I think it should be this one. Dali ah. Let's check. Control D. C-bind adjusted frames. So, pwede din to. Let me check. Yan. Okay, nagkamali ako dito. Ang ginawa ko dito, prices. Dapat adjusted price yung pangalan ng object natin. Okay, so, yan. So, meron na tayong adjusted price. Okay. So, parehong-pareho siya ng kanina. Okay, question, Lisa? So, ang mali ko dun sa code kanina, mali yung na dapat ang pangalan ng object adjusted price. Nalagay ko prices. So, paki-change yun. Okay, so I just showed you two ways to get the price. Get the prices of these stocks using get symbols. Okay. Tapos, palitan natin yung column names ng adjusted price natin. Kasi adjusted price natin, ang mga pangalan niya, fb.adjusted. Palitan na lang natin to, gawin natin FB na lang, Google, Intel, Microsoft. Tanggalin natin .adjusted. So, column names, adjusted price, change it to the following. So, pag inano natin yan, pag rinan natin, tapos pag chinek natin adjusted price, bago na yung binago na natin yung column names. Pinaiksian na lang natin. Okay, and then, pwede natin i-plot to. Ito yung plot ng prices ng FB, Google, Intel natin. Okay, clear so far?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's now get the so let's now get the returns. No? Let's create an object called returns.portfolio. So the function is calculate returns. If you check calculate returns, okay, it's from the package performance analytics. So ang ginagawa niyan is calculate simple or compound returns. Anong difference ng simple returns? Anong formula ng simple returns? Alala mo? Price at t over price at t minus 1. Okay, minus 1. So ito yung simple returns, no? Baling growth rate. Price now divided by price yesterday minus 1. This is your simple returns. Yung ano naman, yung compound returns, that's your log p sub t over p sub t minus 1. Ito naman yung compound returns, no? So, to compute for the portfolio returns, itong function na ginagamit natin, calculate returns. Okay. So, ang syntax niyan, prices is an object, no? Object siya. Ito yung data frame natin, yung adjusted price. Tapos, method is equal to either discrete, this is your simple, or log, or difference. So, ano ba yung default nito? Tingnan natin. So, dito nakalagay na second, if the corporate action dividends, okay. We have changes, the default arguments and settings for the method from compound and simple to discrete and log. From compound and simple to discrete and log and discrete. Ano sabi dito? Wait. We have changes. We have changed the default arguments and settings for method from compound and simple to discrete and log, and discrete to avoid confusion between the return type. Compound and simple are used to refer to the returning chain method. Okay, kaso hindi yung sinabi ko ang default ano. Method is equal to discrete. Okay, so i-check na lang natin, no? Check natin kung ano yung default dito. Okay, so ito linagay ko dito, default is log. I-check muna natin. So ano ginagawa nitong itong code na to? Returns that portfolio. Okay, una tanggalin muna natin, Luis, itong ano, na.omit. Let's see what happens. Kung tanggalin natin na.omit. Okay, run natin. So, tingnan natin yung first 6 lines ng returns that portfolio. Head. Okay. So you notice that meron tayong ano dito, no? Meron tayong NA. Bakit may NA dito?
Because yun po yung first value, so hindi nila magkuha yung sa
Yeah, oo.
Hindi nila makuha sa 2015.
Kasi walang value tayo nun, no?
Yes,
diba?
sir.
So let's see, itong 0.0049, anong siya? Anong simple ba or compound yung ginamit dito? One way to check out. No? Check natin, adjusted price. So si FB, kung simple yan, dapat ano siya? Dapat 102, copy natin to. Control C, price at T divided by price at T minus 1. Then minus 1. 1004989. So ano ba yung ano natin kanina? Ano ba yung returns na generate kanina? 0.004989239. Magkaiba. So, tingnan natin kung log to. Copy natin to. Tapos we get the log. $834. 258. 776 4989 258. Okay, mukhang sa tingin mo, Luisa, anong ginagamit na ano? Method?
Yung log, sir.
Yung log? Ano natin nasabi? 4989258. 4989238. Ito, 4976. Ang layo. So, anong ginamit na method? Si simple, si discrete, di ba? Ito. Kaya lang hindi eksakto kasi hindi naman natin kinuha yung exact figures eh. Rounded off na to. Kaya a little discrepancy sa decimal places. Pero 49892. 49892. Parehong-pareho siya. Ito malayo, 4976. Therefore, anong method ang ginamit doon sa returns?
Yung simple.
Yung simple. Okay. So, ang gusto natin yung ano, yung we don't want that. Ang gusto natin yung ano. So ito, adjust natin. Okay, para automatic, para matanggal na yung ano, yung yung NA sa unahan, maglalagay tayo dito ng NA dot omit. Ibig sabihin, yung mga NA, tatanggalin na niya, i-omit na niya. Tapos, lagyan natin dito yung method. Method is equal to continuous. Okay. Adjusted price. Wala po ito. And then, salary. Calculate returns kasama din yung method. Okay, take a look at our syntax muna. Yan. Calculate returns. Yung adjusted price natin, remember, ang adjusted price, ito yung ano natin, yung object natin, yung XTS object natin consisting of the prices of FD. So, ang gagawin niya, kukunin niya yung log ng bawat ng daily. So, mali itong default na to. No? Ang default niya is, is discrete. Kaya ang gusto natin continuous. Okay, so i-run natin to. Run. Right. 4976. So, 4976. Medyo pareho na yan dun sa log kanina. Diba? Yan. Ito na yung log. 4976. 4976. Okay. Any questions?
None, sir.
Okay. So, alam natin na na-discover natin na ang default niya, pag hindi mo ilalagay yung method, magsisimple siya. Pero mas gusto natin yung log for reasons which we have discussed before. So ito pareho lang to. It's just the same. Okay. Pareho nung nasa taas. So bali wala na to. Tanggalin ko na to kasi pareho lang nasa taas to. It's the same. Tapos ito naman, okay, this is the other method. No? Returns that portfolio, lagyan natin itong 1. ROC. Ito, ano tong ROC na to? Okay, let's check. Question mark ROC. Okay, rate of change. No? So rate of change. So ang rate of change is also the same as the return per period. And so kailangan i-identify natin na continuous siya. So itong calculate returns is the same as ROC. If we run this, run natin to para ma-compare natin. Okay, so di ba pareho lang? 49776. Pareho lang ng kanina to. Okay, clear to, Isa?
Yes, sir.
We can either use calculate that returns or ROC. We'll get the same answer, but we have to identify the continuous to make it equal to this one. Kasi ang default niya, discrete. Pag hindi mo ilagay ito, ang i-compute niya yung simple returns lang. Okay, so yung returns that portfolio natin, check natin kung ano laman niya. Review nga natin, view. Returns that portfolio. Okay, FB, Google. So ito na yung returns. Take note, Luisa, wala na yung NA, di ba, sa harap. Okay? So mga returns na to, no? And then, so ito hindi na pala kailangan to kasi yung returns.portfolio natin, naka-base kasi siya sa adjusted price. Yung pangalan ng adjusted prices natin, FB, Google, Intel, Microsoft na. So, nung kinuha natin yung returns, yun pa rin yung pangalan na maintain. So, ito sabi, call names, returns.portfolio. So, pareho lang to. Not needed anymore because same column names already. Diba? Kung hindi natin ginawa yung kanina yung call names, kung hindi natin pinalitan, ito. Then ang ano pa rin niya, FB.adjusted, Google.adjusted ang column names. So we replace it with FB, Google, Intel. All right. So let's first set our first another portfolio. So gumagawa tayo dito ng another portfolio, equal weight siya. So ano tong equal weight portfolio na to? Ang gagawin natin, we're going to create an object, no, called weights. Tapos yung weights na yun, ilalagay natin kung ilan yung weight na ibibigay natin for Facebook, Google, Intel, and Microsoft. So as a benchmark, gagawin muna natin equal weighted. So yung rep function, naalala mo yung rep function, una sasabihin natin kung ano yung i-repeat, tapos pangalawa, ilang beses siya. So 1 over ncall, ano tong function na to, ncall? Ncall counts the number of columns of this object. Sige, ano natin to, Control C para lang maintindihan natin yung code na to. So it gives us 4, di ba? Kasi 4 yung columns natin dun sa returns.portfolio natin. 4 yan. FB, Google, Intel, Microsoft. Okay. Now, pag ginawa mong 1 over that, syempre, alam natin na 0.25 yan. So, each stock will be given an equal weight, 0.25. Tapos ilang beses? Ilang beses yung yung 1 over yung 0.25 yun. If we run it here, so print natin equal weight. Yan, di ba? 0.25, 0.25. 4 na 0.25. So this will be the weight for each of the stock. Equal weight siya. Tapos kung compute natin yung returns, equal weight that returns. Okay, ang haba nitong pangalan na to. Gawin na lang natin, palitan na natin pangalan, yan na lang. So let's so, parang yung kanina din, yung returns of portfolio, okay, we'll have equal weight returns. Okay, hindi na to calculate returns, no? Kasi portfolio na tong kino-compute natin. Calculate return that portfolio. Okay, so ano mangyayari dito? If we recall sa Excel, ang ginagawa natin dito, may returns tayo. I-multiply natin yan ng 0.25 each, di ba? 0.25, 0.25, 0.25. 0.25 each. Tapos isa-sum up natin yan lahat. so that now we have we have the returns of the portfolio if these assets are given 25% each. Okay, so 25% si Facebook, si Google, si Intel, Microsoft. So ang mangyayari, okay, you'll have a vector of returns ni FB, Google, Intel, Microsoft, isang line lang. Okay, so that will be the weighted average return with Facebook, Google, Intel, and Microsoft. So let's do that. No? So ang gagawin niya, tigta 25%. No? 25, 25, 25, 25. So tagta times 25%. Yan. Okay, so let's run this. Okay, and then let's see yung head and tail nila. Oops.
Sir, nagka-error po yung equal
yung
weight
weights,
returns.
Itong ano kasi, mali yung ano natin. Ito. Control C. Gawin natin itong weights is equal to, dapat equal weights. Kasi equal weight, ito yung 25% each. Okay, so okay na to. Run natin, run. Okay, run itong equal weight returns. So meron na to. Tingnan natin head and tail. Okay. So you now have only one column. One column lang yung portfolio returns natin. Okay, ito yung returns that portfolio. Ang ginawa ang ginagawa natin dyan, di ba? Tigta 25% each. Or you're just getting the average actually. Kasi pare-pareho lang naman yung weights nila. So average nitong FB, Google, Intel, at saka Microsoft. That will be the weighted returns for 2016-01. January 5, 2016. So ang resulta niya, asan na si equal weight returns? Ito. So kinuha niya yung tigto 25% ng bawat araw. Okay? Clear so far?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ano naman tong object na to? Mean returns. Ito, kinukuha lang natin yung average, no? Take a look at this code. We're creating an object called mean returns. Okay. Ito, kinukuha lang yung column means. Ibig sabihin, yung column ng Facebook, column ng Google, etc. Okay. Kinukuha natin yung column means ng returns.portfolio. Diba ito yung returns.portfolio natin? So, ang gagawin nito, kukunin niya yung average nitong Facebook, mean nitong Google, etc. So, ang result niyan, isang row lang. Average ni Facebook, Google, Intel, and Microsoft. So, let's do this. So, yan na yun. So, average siya ni Facebook, ni Google, ni Intel, at saka ni Microsoft. Okay, then we can also create, remember yung returns portfolio natin. This is just the returns of our portfolio per day. Daily kasi yung data natin. Pwede natin kunin yung variance covariance. If you recall in Excel, ginawa natin yung variance covariance. So you have a 4 assets to. So you'll have a 4x4 matrix where you compute for the variance covariance of the returns of each asset versus the other asset. So let's run this. Yan. So ito yung covariance matrix. Okay. So this is the variance of Facebook kasi covariance of Facebook with Facebook. Tapos variance of Google, yung mga nasa diagonal, mga variances yan. And the others are the covariance. And we know that the covariance of Google with Facebook is the same as the covariance of Facebook with Google. 0.0024, 0.0024. Okay, so familiar na tayo dyan sa sa Excel. And why do we need this covariance matrix? Remember, ginagamit natin yan to compute for the alala mo, saan ginagamit yung covariance matrix? Alala mo? Isa? It's used to compute what? It's used to compute the standard deviation. Naalala mo yung
yes, sir.
Times covariance, variance covariance times W transpose. Depende din sa ayos ng ng matrix. Or the W transpose times variance covariance times W matrix. So it's used to compute for the variance, for the portfolio risk as measured by either standard deviation or variance. Okay? Ngayon, hindi na lang natin nakikita dun, yung kasi nasa code na nila yan kung paano ginagawa, but that's how they do it in order to compute the portfolio variance or portfolio risk na mamaya i-compute natin. Okay. So, binago natin pangalan nito. No? Equal weight. Okay. So, may isa tayong portfolio. Yung isang portfolio natin yung equal weight returns, no? Ibig sabihin, yung portfolio natin ng Facebook, Google, Microsoft, Intel, equally weighted yung ginawa natin. So if we can compute for the cumulative returns, okay, so ito siya, no? Cumulative returns ng natin ng portfolio na equally weighted. Tapos we can also get the performance summary. Okay, ito yung cumulative returns. Ito yung daily returns. Okay? And then yung drawdown, ibig sabihin ito yung baba ng price niya versus the highest value. So ang mga highest value ang dito, no? Tapos yung drawdown is the amount by which it differs from the maximum cumulative maximum returns. So it looks like ang maximum returns natin dapat nasa daily. Okay, ang hirap makita dito. Pero every time na bumababa siya below the maximum value, binababa yung the difference between the maximum value and the returns, yun ang drawdown. Okay, clear ba yun, Luisa?
Yes, sir.
You can also, of course, you can get further information. Kunyari, what is drawdown in returns? Para clear tayo. So that, okay. A drawdown refers to how much an investment or trading account is down from the peak before it recovers back to the peak. Okay, so for a particular period, may peak siya. So gaano siya kalayo dun sa peak? Yun ang drawdown. Okay, may example ba dito? Ito, may example. So you can take a look at this example. Okay. Anyway, yun ang concept ng drawdown. All right. Okay, then we can compute for yung measures ng CAPM, Alpha Janssen, Sharpe ratio. Okay, so I think I told you to look at these measures. Okay, i-compute na muna natin to tapos be sure to interpret kung ano ibig sabihin ng ng figures na nakukuha natin dito. So we have to have a benchmark para ma-compare natin yung portfolio natin. No? So ang benchmark na gagamitin natin is si exchange traded fund ni S&P 500, si SPY. So si SPY is an ETF, no? Dahil siya. Okay, so let's use SPY as a benchmark. So we can get the prices, pero kailangan ipareho natin 2 is equal to 2020-12-31. Okay. Periodicity daily then, tapos then you get the sixth row which is adjusted. Okay. So those are your SPY prices. So ito yung prices ni SPY. Yan. Okay, then we can column sums para makita natin kung may mga missing values. So yung code na to, sabi, column sums is NA. Ibig sabihin, i-add niya kung ilan yung NA dun sa SPY.prices na XTS object. So 0. Ibig sabihin, walang missing values. Okay, then we can compute for the returns. SPY.returns, ginamit natin dito ROC as shown above. Type natin is continuous. Okay, let's run this. So mawawala na yung first line dito na NA kasi in NA.omit na natin. So these are your returns for our benchmark SPY. Okay, and then i-assume natin na 3.25 yung yung risk-free rate natin, yung T-bill rate, US based to. I'm not sure about this, hinulaan ko lang pero ganyan yung yung usual na mga 1%, 2%, 3%. So let's just peg it at 3%. Lagyan lang natin 3%. And take note, yung mga returns natin, these are daily returns. Tapos pag nag-compute tayo ng CAPM or ng Sharpe ratio, annual returns yung tinitinan dyan. So we have to do some adjustment dun sa pag-compute natin, okay, to adjust to daily. No? Kasi itong 0.03, annual risk yan. No? Okay, sige, let's do this. We can compute for the CAPM beta, Capital Asset Pricing Model, yung beta natin, which is a measure of the riskiness of your asset, which is your portfolio, ito, to SPY.returns. Okay, take note yung returns.portfolio, isang column na lang yan, di ba? Di ba? Hindi, wait, sorry ha. Returns.portfolio, apat nga pala. Apat yung nito. So, okay, SPY returns. Apat yung natin, apat yung portfolio natin, kino-compare natin dun sa sa SPY.returns. Let's compute for this. RF is 3%. And then in-adjust natin siya to make it daily also. Kasi daily yung returns natin dito. Adjusted. Okay. So ito mali ito, no? Kasi hindi pala natin nararan pa. Hindi pa natin naran si adjusted. Okay, let's now compute for this. Okay. So ano ginawa niya? Apat yung stocks assets natin dun sa portfolio natin. Tapos isa yung benchmark natin. Ang ginawa niya, inisa-isa niya. Kinompare niya si Facebook, kinompare niya si Google, kinompare niya si Intel, kinompare niya si Microsoft with yung benchmark natin na si SPY. So of these four assets, sino yung pinaka-risky? Sino yung pinaka-risky? Beta ang mini-measure natin.
Intel?
Intel? Yeah, bakit? Bakit si Intel?
Kasi siya yung pinaka-highest na
Beta.
Yes, sir.
Beta yung tawag doon. No? Beta is a measure of the sensitivity of the asset relative to the market. Ang market natin, yung SPY returns. No? So yung beta natin measures how sensitive our asset is to the market. So yung 1.23, ibig sabihin yan, for every 1% increase in the market, which is SPY, Intel will increase by 1.23%. Ang least sensitive is si Google, which has a beta of 1.06. Ibig sabihin na for every 1% increase in SPY, si Google increases by 1.06. Kapag 1 yung beta, ibig sabihin nun, it moves in the same similarly as the market. 1% increase ni market, which is SPY, 1% din increase ng asset na yun. If it's less than 1, then ibig sabihin mas less sensitive siya to volatilities of the market. Okay? Then okay, so pwede nating tingnan, no? Ito, kasi mayroon pa ibang measure eh. CAPM beta.bull, Control C. Again, your friend here, Luisa, is si R mismo. So that's from performance analytics. Kasi the single factor model of CAPM is the beta of an asset to the variance and covariance of an initial portfolio. Okay, so here you have CAPM.beta, CAPM.beta bull, bear, okay, tapos may timing ratio. Ano yung difference nila? Okay, kung titignan mo sa formula, pareho rin, kaso ano ba yung nagdi-differentiate sa kanila? If you take a look at this one, two other functions apply the same notion of best fit to positive and negative market returns separately. You have that bull, regression siya for only positive market returns. So anong ginagawa dito? Sa CAPM.beta.bull, ang ginagamit lang niya lahat ng mga positive returns. So sa tatanggalin niya, di ba may mga returns tayo? Kunyari, balikan natin yung returns natin. Ha? Kunyari, ito si FB. Eh, may mga negative, no? May mga negative. So ang gagawin dyan, tatanggalin niya lahat ng mga negative. Okay? Tatanggalin niya yung mga negative, tapos magre-regression siya para mahanap yung beta. So that's your bear, CAPM.beta.bear. Yung bull naman, opposite. As it's stated here, bull, positive market returns lang. Okay. Alternatively, si bear naman, ang kinukuha lang niya yung mga negative market returns. So, ang gagawin niya dito, kukunin lang niya yung mga negative market returns, and then hahanapin niya yung beta. So that's why, okay. Okay, then may isa pang measure nga, itong timing ratio. Okay, which is a sali natin, no? Sali natin itong measure na to. If you take a look at bear, bullish pala. You notice the beta. Ito ang tinignan lang yung mga positive returns. No? So dito, si Intel pa rin yung pinaka no, yung pinaka sensitive sa changes ng market kasi siya yung pinakamataas na beta. Pag bear naman, pinaka-sensitive pa rin si Intel. So whether it's a bull market or bearish market, ang pinaka-sensitive si ano talaga, si Intel. And then itong timing, kulang to. Timing ratio. Yan. Okay, so ano daw yung timing ratio? So malaking tulong talaga itong ano, no, itong help function niya. May help assess whether the manager is a good timer of asset allocation decisions. Okay, so ito yung beta plus divided by beta minus is best when greater than 1 in a rising market and less than 1 in a falling market. So titingnan yan, no? Pag rising yung market, mas maganda kung greater than 1 yung timing ratio. Okay, kapag falling market, mas maganda kung less than 1 yung timing ratio. Okay, so I leave that to you, Luisa, to read up more on. Okay, ang pinaka-objective natin dito is not really investment analysis but more on the use of technology to siyempre tinatamaan pa rin natin yung ano yung some concepts. Now ito, kasi ito as individual assets, no? Diba si returns that portfolio, it consists of yung FB, etc. Itong equally weighted returns, isang returns lang to. So, kailangan palitan natin kasi pinalitan natin to kanina para mas maiksi yung pangalan. Okay. So we can compute for the cap beta of the portfolio itself. Yung portfolio, di ba? So portfolio, lagyan natin equally weighted muna. Assuming equally weighted yung portfolio natin, yun ang ginagamit natin. So ang beta natin, 1.16. So what does that mean? 1.16. If we're going to compare that with the individual, ito yung beta natin kanina, di ba? Okay. 1.16 yung beta natin. Notice na yung beta ng portfolio natin is somewhere between, no? Between your the betas of the individual assets. So yun ang ginagawa ng portfolio. Reduce na yung risk. Kung ano ka lang, kung isa ka lang, kung Intel lang, ang beta mo 1.23. So mataas, no? Relative to the other stocks. And Microsoft 1.21. Nung nag-portfolio ka ng FB, Google, equally weighted nito, ang beta natin naging 1.16. So it's less sensitive to the market. Although it's more sensitive as compared to FB and Google. So na-notice natin na kapag nagpo-portfolio tayo, nare-reduce niya in a way yung risk ng investment natin kasi mas mababa na yung beta natin compared to Intel at saka yung kay Microsoft, mas mababa na yung beta ng ano natin, ng portfolio natin. Okay? Alright, so dito din may Johnson ratio. Okay, 0.018. Okay, anong ibig sabihin ng Jensen alpha na yan? No? Pati itong Sharpe ratio. Okay, anong ibig sabihin 0.03? Okay, I'll give you a hint. No? That's part of what you have to read on. No? Si I think sinabi ko na sa'yo na medyo basahin yung kung ano yung si Jensen alpha. Is this good? Itong 0.018 na Jensen alpha. How about the Sharpe ratio? Is this good? 0.04? Okay, so read up on that, Luisa. Tapos tell me the answer next meeting. Sabi mo sa akin kung okay ba itong Jensen alpha na 0.18, pati yung Sharpe ratio na 0.03, 0.04 for our portfolio. Okay, so let's go here. At least makapagsimula tayo. It's almost time. Makapagsimula tayo dito sa MPT, Modern Portfolio Theory, yung using the mean variance of the portfolio. Remember sa Excel, di ba? How do we come up with a portfolio? We come up with a portfolio, an optimal portfolio, by determining, by having certain objectives. Okay, yung ginawa natin dati, minimize natin yung portfolio risk, no? Given a certain level of returns. So we have to assume a certain level of returns. Tapos, co-compute natin yung portfolio mix, yung weights ng assets natin that minimizes risk given a particular return. So we're going to do that here. We're going to make use of the portfolio analytics. So ang unang portfolio na i-create natin is minimize yung risk. In order to do that, ito yung syntax na gagamitin natin. Ito yung nanggaling dun sa sinabi ko sa iyo na, asan na yung article na yan? Ito, no? Okay, you can read up on this, no? Para malaman mo kung, parang as a guide din, dito sa ginagawa natin. Okay, so let's go back here. So tatlong steps, initial steps to. First is we have to initialize the specification. Okay. Second, we have to add constraints. And third step, we have to add the objective. Ayan. So tatlong steps yan. So we'll create an object, portfolio 1, let's call it P1. Tapos yung unang kailangan na gawin, portfolio.spec. Okay. Ano yung assets natin? Okay. Ang assets natin will be yung return portfolio natin. Ito yun. Returns.portfolio. Ito yung mga assets natin. Yung returns ni Facebook, Google, Intel, Microsoft. Okay? So, ang code natin dito, assets. Okay, kasi kung titinan mo, no? Port dot spec. Ito yan, no? Okay? So, ito siya, no? Ito yung functionality niya, ito yung syntax niya. Assets, weight, etc. No? So, ang kailangan lang natin dito, sa assets natin is equal to yung column names ng returns.portfolio natin. Sino ba yun? Iran natin to, ha? Diba si Facebook, si Google, si Intel, at saka si Microsoft. Yun ang pangalan ng mga assets natin. Si Facebook, si Google, si Intel, at saka si Microsoft. Okay. So, continuing, kailangan tayo maglagay ng constraint. So, una, sa portfolio analytics, ito yung kailangan. Portfolio.spec, add that constraint, at saka add that objective. So, yung unang constraint natin is full investment. Okay, ano ibig sabihin ng full investment? Dapat yung mga weights ng 4 na assets na to dapat equal to 100%. Naalala mo yung ginawa natin yan sa sa Excel?
Yes, sir.
Yung constraint natin dapat yung weights natin 100%, no? Another constraint is okay, itong long only. Ano yung long only? Ibig sabihin ng long only, walang negative na weight dapat. Kasi pag negative na weight, ibig sabihin hiniram lang natin yung asset na yon. And that will mean a weight that's negative. Okay? So ito yung parang, although hindi natin ginawa yan sa di ba? Hindi natin ginawang non-negative kasi nga baka magka-problema sa sa modeling natin kay Excel. Pero ito mas powerful kasi yung yung solver dito eh. Kaya okay lang na gawin natin long only. Although pwede din natin i-relax to later, no? Pero ito na muna. Ito yung first portfolio natin. So, ang syntax niya, add that constraint, portfolio is equal to P1 relating to this spec. No? So, dagdag lang tayo ng dagdag ng layer dun sa portfolio, spec natin, constraint, at saka yung objective. Long only, ano ibig sabihin long only? Yung weights natin dapat between 0 and 1, ibig sabihin walang negative. Okay, next. Objective, add objective. Ano yung objective natin? Ang objective natin is type natin is equal to risk at saka name is equal to standard deviation. So, ang objective natin is to minimize risk. So, minimize risk lang tayo. No? Kasi pag maximize return, type is equal to return, name is equal to mean. Okay? So, ito na yung ano natin. Ito na yung P1 natin. No? Andito na yung spec, constraint, at saka objective. Okay, so let's run this. Run. Okay, so may object na tayo na P1. No? It's a list. I-print nga natin si P1. Okay, ito si P1 natin. Okay. So number of assets natin, 4. No? Si Facebook, si Google, si Intel, at saka si Microsoft. Take note, may mga object tayong ganyan, di ba? FB, Google, Intel, Microsoft. Tapos, ang constraint natin, okay, full investment, ibig sabihin, ano ibig sabihin ng full investment?
Weights should be equal to 100%.
Yes, the sum of the weights should be equal to 100%. Long only, yung mga weights, dapat lahat positive siya, no? Walang negative. Tapos here, objective is minimize risk, so standard deviation, yung mini-measure. Okay. So ang gagawin dito ni R, okay, so nasa ano na yan siya na magko-compute ng mga weights given the prices of Facebook, Google, Intel, and Microsoft. Okay. Given yung mga returns nila, i-minimize yung standard deviation. Okay, so in order to do that, meron tayong, ito yung code natin. Port 1, optimize portfolio 1, let's call it that. Tapos ito yung function, optimize that portfolio. Okay? So, ano yung object natin? Yung object natin is R is equal to returns that portfolio. Ibig sabihin, ito yung gagamitin. No? Ito. So, andito yung returns ni FB, Google, Intel, at saka Microsoft. So, ito yung gagawin niya na portfolio. Okay, tapos, ano yung mga specification, constraint, at objective? Yung P1 ang gagamitin. Okay? Anong method ang gagamitin? ROI. Yung ROI, this is used for quadratic programming. Parang yung ginamit natin kay Excel, yung solver. Tapos, trace is equal to true. In order to understand more, no, yung optimize the portfolio, ito yun, no? So, ito yung syntax niya. From portfolio analytics yan. Okay, you can read up on this. No? So, may mga arguments siya. Yung trace is equal to true. Yan, no? True or false. Ano ibig sabihin nun? If true, it will attempt to return additional information on the path or portfolios search. No? So, magdadagdag siya ng additional information. Pwede rin namang false, hindi siya magdadagdag ng additional information. So if we run this, yan, ayan, ito yung solution niya. No? Ito yung solution niya. Yan. So ang sabi niya dito, ang optimal weights ni Facebook, ni Google, Intel, at saka si Microsoft ito. Time na pala, no? Sige, let's end here. Si FB daw, 8%, Google, etc. Ito yung ito yung object, ito yung and the portfolio risk is 1.57%. Yun yung portfolio risk. Okay. Ito na lang. Let's run this. Okay, so rinan lang natin, pinakita natin yung mga weights ng portfolio natin, which is just this one. Ito. Okay, so next meeting on Tuesday, we'll continue with this. Gagawa tayong iba't ibang portfolio. Tapos tingnan mo na lang din to, no? Look at this. Ito gawin natin 1,000 yung ano. Sorry, may mali dito. 1,000. 100 lang to. 100 lang yung number of portfolios natin. Okay. So, itutuloy natin to. This will generate now the efficient frontier na pagkahirap-hirap natin ginawa sa Excel, pero dito ang dali-dali lang, no? Okay? So, let's continue with this. Let's try to finish this discussion by, baka hindi natin matapos on, let's try to finish it on Thursday. Pero pag may carry over pa sa next Tuesday, kasi yung susunod natin na topic, iba na, no? We go out of the portfolio optimization. Punta lang tayo sa ibang topic sa FinMode. Okay, Luisa? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sige. Did you learn something today?
Yes po.
Okay, sige. Good. I'll see you on Thursday, ha?